While we have more knowledge about our prehistoric predecessors, which basically tells us they were just giant sized, scaly chickens more so than reptiles, the idea of dinosaurs is still very much utilized by creative individuals, as we don't have anything like that in the modern era, aside from alligators, crocodiles, tortoises, and a few species of fish. Whether family friendly adventures featuring herbivores taking a trip across ancient Pangea, or humans time traveling to the Jurassic era and getting devoured by a bloodthirsty pack of carnivores. We've compiled a list of some of the more standout films in the subgenre. Before we begin, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Every new sub helps us achieve our goal and keeps us motivated to create new content. With that being said, I'm your host, Jamie, and here are 10 epic dinosaur films. Number 1, Jurassic Park. Steven Spielberg's game-changing 1993 epic dinosaur film, Jurassic Park, is a truly monumental achievement in cinema history. Between James Cameron's Terminator 2 and Jurassic Park, they ushered in a new age of special effects in the 90s. And over 30 years later, the original film still holds up. Audiences can thank the meticulous craft Spielberg took in storyboarding, development, advancements in animatronics, and investment in computer graphics. Jurassic Park is based on Michael Crichton's 1990 New York Times bestselling novel, which is far grislier with more science, more dinosaurs, and much blunter in its themes on failures of capitalism. Steven Spielberg's film adaptation is as much Crichton's as it is Spielberg's. While Crichton wrote the first draft of the film, eventually screenwriter David Koepp was hired to streamline it. Spielberg infused his own sense of wonder about dinosaurs, as well as fashioned his own Hitchcockian levels of suspense into the film. It's a high-concept film, which dinosaurs have been cloned back to life by lead engine bioengineer John Hammond for a theme park. Because of a lethal incident with crew members of the park, investors need experts to sign off on Hammond's park in order for it to open. In comes paleontologist Alan Grant, played by Sam Neill, paleobotanist Ellie Sadler, played by Laura Dern, and chaotician Ian Malcolm, played by Jeff Goldblum. They arrive at the park of living dinosaurs, and brilliantly orchestrated chaos ensues. Don't miss the adventure, 65 million years in the making, over on Starz, Google Play, Fandango, Philo, or Prime. Number 2, The Land Before Time. 1988's dino animated classic, The Land Before Time, would pull at the heartstrings and spawn a whole franchise. Director Don Smith made a name for himself in the 80s, making acclaimed animated features like An American Tail and The Secret of NIMH. Bluth would work with Amblin Entertainment and Steven Spielberg to put this harrowing, albeit fun, animated tale to the silver screen. It was a hit at the box office, as it made around $84 million globally on a $12 million budget. It even outdid Disney having the biggest animated film of the year, which wouldn't happen again until Shrek 2. The film follows the story of a young apatosaurus, or longneck, in the movie called Littlefoot, who is separated from his herd by an earthquake. Him and his budding friends Spike, a stegosaurus, Sarah, a triceratops, Petrie, a pterodon, and Ducky, a saurolophus. None of the dinosaurs are called by their paleontological name. People would have given them those names after all. They kind of get this straightforward names, like the Triceratops are just known as Three-Horns, and the T-Rex is Sharptooth. Littlefoot and his ragtag group would have to journey to a place called the Great Valley to reunite with their herds. The Land Before Time is gorgeously animated and genuinely sentimental, even if it does cross into saccharine. Unsurprisingly, I loved this series as a child, even the direct-to-video sequels that I managed to catch starting in the mid-90s. There is a staggering 14 sequels. Some of them are decent. Yes, I've watched them all except for the one released in 2016. Was I a child when I marathoned them? No. There's also a single season television series. You can stream the original on Prime, Google Play, or Fandango. Number 3, We're Back. Based on the popular 1987 children's book, also entitled We're Back, A Dinosaur Story, the film was produced by legendary filmmaker Steven Spielberg during a milestone year for him. The summer of 1993 was dominated by his groundbreaking blockbuster bonanza, Jurassic Park. His heartbreaking Holocaust Best Picture winner, Schindler's List, moved audiences during the 93 holiday and award seasons. In between those films, his short-lived animation studio, Amblimation, produced We're Back. The film was meant to capitalize on the Jurassic Park-inspired Dinomania, but for a family audience. Not only did the film lose money, but it received poor reviews, mostly criticizing the story itself and flat characters. I honestly watched this for the first time back when Hulu was free and had limited, albeit random, selection of films. The animation is polished and decent for its time, although not anywhere near the level of early 90s Disney animation's second golden age. I do agree with the critics that the music and voice work are good. After all, the late legendary composer James Horner worked on the music. And in signature DreamWorks animation style, which was Spielberg's successor to Amblimation, the film features a star-studded voice cast. The plot revolves around a scientist who travels back in time, feeding 3 dinosaurs and a pterosaur special cereal that makes them more intelligent as well as able to vocalize in English. The scientist sends the prehistoric animals to modern-day New York, where they have to make it back home with no one realizing that they're dinosaurs. You can stream it on Prime, Google Play, or Fandango. Number 4, Carnosaur. The 1993 dinosaur film that isn't Jurassic Park, Carnosaur was actually released in theaters about a month before Spielberg's Game Changer. The film is legendary B-movie producer Roger Corman's film, loosely based on a book of the same name. The novel was released in 1984 by Australian author John Brosnan under his pseudonym Harry Adam Knight. Corman's film was written and directed by Adam Simon. Like many Corman classics, the film was panned by critics, but was a modest commercial success that built a cult following. The thing about Corman is he knows what his films are. They're so bad, they're good. They're fun, schlocky films that really are where practical effects and makeup artists test their skills. Carnosaur is fun, as it revolves around Dr. Jane Triptree, a geneticist hell-bent on ridding the world of humanity with carnivorous dinosaurs. Dr. Triptree is played by Academy and Emmy-nominated actress Diane Ladd, who starred in films like Alice Doesn't Live Here and Chinatown. Carnosaur features both a T-Rex and the raptor Deinonychus in this bloody R-rated creature feature. Now, as someone who'd love to see a more book-accurate R-rated Jurassic Park, this is probably the closest we'll get in terms of the pulpy gore aspect for now. Plus, Carnosaur has 2 sequels as well as 2 spin-offs, but you can catch the original on Netflix, Prime, Fandango, or Plex. Number 5, Tammy and the T-Rex. Horror comedy Tammy and the T-Rex is an R rating away from being something Roger Corman would have invested in. Interestingly enough, in 2019, an R-rated Tammy and the T-Rex gore cut was released. Regardless, the 1994 PG-13 original is as silly as its title suggests, and that's okay. Even halfway decent dinosaur movies are hard to come by, which is bizarre considering how popular dinosaurs are. In the version of Tammy and the T-Rex that I watched, the title card read Tanny and the Teenage T-Rex. I gotta say, that's pretty cut rate getting the name of the movie wrong. Regardless, Tammy and the T-Rex stars Denise Richards as the titular character. Tammy, not the T-Rex. The late Paul Walker, who is most known for portraying fan favorite Brian O'Connor, in the popular mega hit The Fast and the Furious franchise, does star as the titular T-Rex. Yeah, you heard that right. In the film, Michael, played by Walker, has his brain transplanted into a robotic T-Rex after getting into an accident. And who does this? A mad scientist. Now, if that isn't a hook for you, I don't know what is. Tammy and the T-Rex was filmed using giant animatronic T-Rex. The whole story was actually tailored around the fact that director Stuart Raphael had a limited window of opportunity where he had access to an animatronic T-Rex. I expect nothing less from the director of E.T. knockoff, Mac and Me. However, you can stream Tammy and the T-Rex on Peacock, Tubi, Pluto, Plex, or Fandango. If you're enjoying the video so far, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Number 6, A Good Dinosaur. 2015 marked the first year that the award-winning Pixar Animation Studios would deliver not just one of their computer animated masterpieces, but two. During the summer of 2015, the legendary studio would deliver one of their greatest films, Inside Out, and would go on to be the studio's biggest original film, dethroning another classic, Finding Nemo. The Good Dinosaur unfortunately didn't share that commercial success, becoming Pixar's first film to not break even during its box office run. It did receive warm critical reception regardless. Both Inside Out and The Good Dinosaur share the same talented silver screen scribe, Meg LaFauve. The Good Dinosaur takes place in an alternate timeline where dinosaurs never went extinct and humans never rose on the food chain. Humans are tantamount to pests, which tracks. The story revolves around a family of farmer apatosauruses, which are long necks like the popular brachiosauruses. Each of their children doing something to make their mark. Literally. The Good Dinosaur follows the runt of the litter, Arlo, who refuses to kill a feral cave boy. He chases the same cave boy out of the family's silo later on for stealing. Both end up washed up by a river, far from home. The film becomes a coming-of-age tale, a literal journey for Arlo to find out who he is. The film is gorgeous, it's funny, and it's sweet. You can check out The Good Dinosaur on Disney+, Prime, Google Play, or Fandango. Number 7, Dinosaur. The long-forgotten Disney computer animated feature film from the year 2000. Dinosaur was unfortunately wedged between Pixar's early-on masterpieces, Toy Story 2 in 1999, and then 2001's Monsters, Inc. That in 2001 was a banner year for CG animation, as DreamWorks' seminal Shrek was also released. Hence why poor Dinosaur got buried in the sands of time. The film is an undeniable technical marvel with unfortunately generic storytelling. Dinosaur is technically Disney's animated studio's first 3D CG animated film. Although there is a caveat, as it is a mix of live action environments with CGI dinosaurs. Honestly, that kind of helped it save on cost. It made it feel more authentic and allowed the animators to focus on the details of the dinosaurs, which was probably the sole reason many of us watched it at the time. The film follows a young iguanodon named Aldar that, through tragedy and luck, ends up being raised by lemurs. A meteor storm forces him and the lemurs to leave their home, where Carnotauruses become the main antagonists. Although it didn't quite win over audiences, families flocked to it as it was relatively short, easy on the peepers, and a way to keep the kiddos entertained. Dinosaur ultimately grossed $349 million globally, which made it one of the top 10 biggest films of the year. However, its lofty $127.5 million budget meant it barely broke even. Lucky for Disney, Dinosaur sold over 10 million video copies, raking in nearly 200 million from those alone. I also give Dinosaur some credit for featuring many dinosaurs for the first time on the big screen, including the Pachyrhinosaurus and the Stygimoloch, both of which would also appear in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom 18 years later. You can catch Dinosaur on Disney Plus, Prime, Google Play, or Fandango. Number 8. Ice Age: Dawn of the Dinosaurs. The third installment of the Ice Age franchise shook things up a little bit by adding dinosaurs to the mix. 2009's Ice Age: Dawn of the Dinosaurs was met with mixed critical response, but that didn't keep it from being the highest grossing film in the franchise, even today with a towering $886.7 million in worldwide box office receipts. Although, I'd love to credit the addition of dinosaurs to its over $200 million bump in earnings over its predecessor, it was most likely due to the film being the first installment to use James Cameron's groundbreaking new 3D tech. Not only did films featuring the new 3D cost a premium, but international audiences were also willing to pay for it early on and continued to do so even when the interest in 3D dwindled stateside. Regardless, Ice Age: Dawn of the Dinosaurs sees our core group, Diego the saber-toothed tiger, Manny the mammoth, and Sid the sloth, return. Also returning are Ellie, another mammoth and Manny's love interest, as well as Crash and Eddie, the muskrats. These three characters were all introduced in the second film, Ice Age: The Meltdown, with Manny and Ellie preparing to be parents and Diego considering leaving this quirky herd. An anxious Sid decides to pilfer dinosaur eggs from the underground. Said eggs turn out to be T-Rex eggs. This leads the group to venture into an underground lost world where dinosaurs thrive. Ice Age: Dawn of the Dinosaurs is hit and miss, but even the critics couldn't deny that animation was nice, polished, and the addition of dinosaurs certainly made the film more entertaining. You can catch these dinos on Disney Plus, Prime, Google Play, or Fandango. Number 9. King Kong. Peter Jackson's 3-hour epic remake of the classic 1933 film King Kong was a commendable achievement. Jackson had just come off his award-winning adaptation of J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings trilogy, and expectations were high. Although Jackson's 2005 King Kong was met with positive reception, there were enough detractors that considered it inferior to not just Jackson's LOTR films, but also inferior to the original. Truthfully, that's not really an insult. King Kong has absolutely beautiful cinematography and wonderful art direction. The story follows director Carl Denham and his playwright Jack Driscoll, who traveled to the elusive Skull Island to shoot a film. Their leading lady is the illustrious Agenor and Darrow, played by Naomi Watts. Carl and Jack are played by the always charismatic Jack Black and the multiple Academy Award-winning actor Adrien Brody. While the giant ape King Kong may be the star of the show, Skull Island features a plethora of dinosaurs in the only place on the planet they've never been extinct. They do play a prominent role in the film and were even a centerpiece in the marketing. King Kong even features an epic showdown between Kong and a couple of V-Rexes. Yes, V-Rexes. That's what the T-Rex evolved into after 65 million years. You can stream this Dino Monkey Rumble on Netflix, Prime, or Fandango. Number 10. Jurassic World. Released in 2015 from indie director Colin Trevorrow, Jurassic World was 14 years in the making. As a superfan, the film was worth the wait as it came impressively close to generating the awe and thrills of the original. Upon its release, the original Jurassic Park became an epical blockbuster, going on to gross nearly $1 billion globally, making it the biggest film of all time until Titanic. With its re-releases, Jurassic Park eventually hit $1 billion, but still didn't match Jurassic World's staggering $1.6 billion in worldwide box office receipts. Steven Spielberg was fairly hands-on as an executive producer with this film, even to the point where he wanted a dinosaur park having successfully been opened, and he wanted a character who had some agency over velociraptors. A raptor wrangler, if you will. Spielberg was present through Jurassic Park 4's many script iterations. He was waiting until he found the perfect script that balanced adventure and sci-fi while emanating the spirit and wonder of the original. Jurassic World benefited from its twist on the Jurassic Park formula, the major one being that the park with dinosaurs had opened and successfully thrived for nearly a decade. Michael Crichton would be proud that Jurassic World further explores his original book themes of corporate exploitation and the military immediately seeking to weaponize a living thing they deem a product. The film also introduces the first clear-cut hybrid species. InGen created a brand new dinosaur, the infamous Indominus Rex. The dynamic ensemble led by Chris Pratt, hot off Guardians of the Galaxy, only aided Jurassic World's must-see blockbuster status in the summer of 2015. So catch it for its 10th anniversary on Sling, Google Play, Fandango, or Prime. Thanks for checking out the video. Did we leave any films off the list? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to tap that bell icon to stay up to date with our latest releases. You can reach out to us on Twitter or X at StudiosFat, or chat with us on Discord, linked below. We're also now on Blue Sky. You can find us at studiosfat.bsky.social, which will also link below. If you're really enjoying our content and want to help support us, click that join button for exclusive content, rewards, and perks. Make sure to check out our very own merch store located at fatninja.shop. All proceeds go towards our next film project, so we'd greatly appreciate it. I've been your host, Jamie. Thanks again and take care.